right, I'm Everett Gillison, Chief of Staff and Deputy Mayor for Public Safety for the City of Philadelphia. Welcome to the groundbreaking for the new Philadelphia Police Training Center. This site, where the Philadelphia Police Department will provide training not only to new recruits, but also to veteran officers. Training will also be provided to law enforcement agencies throughout the region. We would not be standing here today ready to break ground on a modernization of this facility without the help of many outstanding city employees. I deeply appreciate all the work that employees of the Department of Public Property, the Office of Capital Projects, and the City Planning Commission have put into this project. Specifically, John Herzens. John, where are you? Because I want to call you out. John, can we recognize John? He started the acquisition project almost 8 years ago. John Hack, who along with John Herzens worked to create a local redevelopment authority which managed the RFP process. Francis Matijic, who will manage the design and construction of the building. We would not be here without all of your efforts, and I look forward to being here with you again when we have the grand opening. Finally, I'd like to thank Tom Elsasser and John Cerrone for all their hard work and dedication, not only on this project, but on the many other past, present, and future police facilities projects. I want to say, just as a deviation from what I've have here before me, is that there's been a lot of stuff that we have actually done that people don't really understand through really one of the worst economic times. But we have really served to focus our energies to give our public employees the kind of spaces that they really need to do their job well. So on behalf of just myself, who sometimes they say I have a lot of meetings early in the morning trying to keep people on track, it always pays off because we're all working together. One Philadelphia, one way forward. And I want to say thank you to each of you. Now I have the pleasure of welcoming a man who holds the safety and the quality of life of citizens of Philadelphia as his very highest priority. Mayor of the City of Philadelphia, Michael A. Nutter.
Good morning, everyone, and Everett, thank you very, very much. This is just another example of one of the 800 things that the Chief of Staff is on top of. And for that, and I'll talk about a few other projects, I want to thank Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and our Chief of Staff, Everett Gillison. He does have those very, very early morning meetings. Fortunately, for a lot of reasons, I'm not a part of those, but much work gets done. And we want to thank Everett for his relentless push and drive to making things happen. The other person that we should really recognize, because Everett, as he is always saying, he doesn't do this work on his own. And I think at this one, and I should have at the last one, we need to recognize the person who actually keeps Everett straight and focused, and that's Kathy Loney. Kathy, for this one and many, many other projects, you know, how you deal with Everett is beyond me to truly understand, but there's a special place for folks like Kathy Loney. I want to thank her. Our Deputy Mayor, Director of Public Safety, Mike Resnick, I want to thank him for his continued leadership and guidance over all of our public safety areas. And John was recognized, the entire Department of Public Property, doing their best with, at times, limited resources, or from time to time we get gifts from other federal agencies who decide to give us their property, and then the challenge, of course, is trying to figure out what to do with it. And so Bridget Collins-Greenwald, our Commissioner of Public Property, John Herzens in public property, who was recognized, and all the folks in public property, can we please recognize them for the great work that they're doing in our city. Tom Elsasser is always in the middle of these projects and quietly making things happen, and we all appreciate Tom. There are a number of representatives from community-based organizations who are here. This, of course, another project, is in a neighborhood. There are people who live nearby. They've known this site for a long, long time, and always with any transition or change, there are a lot of ideas that float around. This particular one was well received by the community, and I want to thank many of our community members who are here today from the various civic organizations. Can we please thank them for welcoming us to the neighborhood? We have a number of our elected officials who are out with us, and I want to thank them in no particular order other than how they're listed on my sheet of paper here. I know that the facility, of course, is located in the 10th, and we want to thank Councilman O'Neill and Linda, who is here representing him, Councilman at Large Danny O'Brien, the chair of our Public Safety Committee, who we had a number of conversations with, Councilman Curtis Jones, who I know is not here, but we thank him anyway. Councilman Bobby Heenan, who is here, and you'll hear from him in a second. State Representative Brendan Boyle, we thank you for being here, and all of our elected public servants. Our City Representative Desiree Peterkin-Bell is here to additionally represent the City of Philadelphia, and we thank her for leadership and guidance in this regard, as well as directing our communications. The folks, the men and women who do the work and who are actively engaged on the streets of our city, and they are well represented in their capacity as city employees by the president of the FOP. If he were any farther away, I think, is that 95 that's out there? So keep an eye on him. But I want to thank and recognize John McNesby, the great leader of Lodge 5, the FOP, and his leadership team who's here with him. John, thank you for your continued support and commitment. We're really honored to be here today at the new police training center. That apparently is the official name. And this facility, like a number of others, is quite honestly one more great big project getting done. And you've heard a series of announcements in recent times, but let me remind you what's happened just in the past few years. We opened the Special Victims Unit, DHS, DA co-location center last year in the Hunting Park neighborhood. We broke ground on the Philadelphia Prison Orchard project just a couple months ago, the largest orchard in the city of Philadelphia, and our inmates will run that operation. The Regional Tactical Training Facility was opened last August. That serves, of course, the police department's K-9 unit, the bomb squad, and our SWAT units, and they're all co-located. And of course, you know, the next big project is out in West Philadelphia, which will finally bring us what our officers all deserve and what the public deserve, is a brand new police headquarters out in West Philadelphia. But today, of course, we hear about the police training center, and it has already been toured by our great police commissioner, Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey, who tells me that this facility is, in fact, and will be, in fact, a state-of-the-art facility with a tremendous amount of promise, but most importantly, all of these projects, all of these efforts, not only driven, of course, by Everett Gillison, our Deputy Mayor for Public Safety, but also come as a result of conversations and the vision and the leadership of our Police Commissioner, who is helping us with the fine men and women of the Philadelphia Police Department to continue to drive down crime, to continue to focus on public safety. And we want to recognize Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey for the great work that he and the command staff and all of the officers are doing each and every day on the streets of our city, continuing to bring positive national attention to Philadelphia. This training center will be able to train up to 300 recruits simultaneously, using space for 400 veteran in-service officers, and we'll have also space for 140 full-time staff right at this location. Additionally, it will centralize our training services into one location, and at more than 87,000 square feet, it will give our instructors the room they need to really kind of spread out and run more training exercises and classes all at the same time. The plan to use this existing building and to update it for our purposes, as was mentioned earlier, has been a long time in coming. In 2005, the U.S. Department of Defense declared this building, known as the Philadelphia Memorial Arms Forces Reserve Center. They designated at that time that it would become surplus property and would eventually be taken out of the federal inventory. Working with our City Planning Commission, City Council, the Redevelopment Authority, our partners at the state and federal level, and of course, neighbors in the community, we developed a plan to reuse this property to meet the city's needs. When we finally acquired ownership of the property from the Defense Department last year, we went to work very quickly to implement our plan and prepared to renovate this building, which brings us, of course, to today's ceremony. This facility will be a state-of-the-art, high-tech, green building that will offer our police officers and cadets the best possible space in which to train for their jobs and being out on the streets of our great city. I strongly believe they deserve nothing less. This new building will have any number of features, and I'll highlight just a few. Parking facilities for alternative fuel vehicles and bicycle storage for commuters, an exercise track, and a dedicated gym and weight room, LED lighting, advanced stormwater runoff designs, and a rainwater harvesting system on the roof that will supply 80% of the water in the building's toilet facilities. Low-maintenance landscaping, which requires no irrigation, and a new energy-efficient HVAC system are just some of the highlights. With all these features to reduce energy consumption and our cost, we're also expecting this will be a LEED Silver certified building. And further, all the green features in the building, and they're exciting. But first and foremost, we need a training facility for our men and women in uniform. With this new facility, the Philadelphia Police Department will provide nationally and internationally recognized training for law enforcement personnel in an environment matching the quality of the excellent instruction that will be given. By consolidating all of our training into one facility, we can optimize joint use of common support functions, including classrooms, briefing rooms, and training maneuver spaces. As I said before, our police officers deserve nothing less than the best in training facilities that we can offer them. And when construction on this facility is complete, we expect to be right back here in May of 2015. It will, in fact, be one of the best facilities of its kind anywhere in the United States of America. I'm honored to be here today to break ground on this fantastic new building. I look forward to coming back very, very soon, and more importantly, beyond cutting the ribbon, seeing our men and women in the Philadelphia Police Department have the great facility that they deserve in our great city. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mayor Nutter. And in order to make sure that I don't make a mistake, I'm going to ask if Councilman Heenan would come forward and just represent on behalf of City Council. Thank you.
Well, good morning and thank you. And it's a pleasure to have some of these opportunities where we get to announce very good things that the city has been working on. I want to thank the mayor. Mayor, thank you for your commitment to public safety, the entire public safety team, the police commissioner, and you know it's top brass that are here that are absolutely doing a great job, you know, protecting our city. You know, this is as chair of public property and vice chair of public safety. You know, it's a great honor on behalf of City Council. I see, you know, we're joined here, as it was mentioned, Councilman O'Brien and State Representative Boyle, whose commitment to public safety has been second to none. You know, but the collaboration that you're seeing here, you know, creating jobs, you know, with public property, with our public safety team, and our best represented officers by our FOP, John McNesby and his team, working with public safety in the city to give us and the region, but mostly the city of Philadelphia, the best trained police force in the country. And we are recognized as a regional training center here in the city of Philadelphia because we are the best. And it's because we have the best team in place, because we have the best representation of our officers on a daily basis. So the collaborative effort from our agencies and commissions here in the city is about its leadership. And, you know, Mayor, I want to thank you, you know, for creating an economic opportunity, an opportunity for the community to be proud, to present itself on what we do best, and that's protect our city, city of Philadelphia as best as we can. So thank you all. Enjoy the day, and we will all be back for a ribbon cutting ceremony to give the tools and the education that we need for our police officers and the region. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob. And just to make sure, Representative Boyle, would you like to come up and say things on behalf of the state?
Well, I just want to briefly thank Mayor Nutter, Councilman Bob Heenan, Councilman Denny O'Brien, FOP President John McNesby, as well as the other leadership of the FOP, Chief Ramsey, Everett Gillison, and all those who have made this reality. When I first started knocking on doors right next door in the Normandy neighborhood, one of the questions you'd often get is, oh, so what's going to come about that center? And every few months there was a different idea or a different proposal, and then to finally get to this point where we are now is extremely exciting. It also shows that there is a positive role for government in job creation and problem solving. This is meeting a need that was this is meeting a need, frankly, that we've had for a long time. The fact that we're going to have this building right here in our community, it's a responsible way to use a public asset, and it'll be creating good paying jobs right here in our community. I was also very interested when Mayor Nutter was talking about the sustainability aspects of this project. Pretty exciting. I mean, these are really some of the forward-thinking and cutting-edge sustainability efforts that we're going to see more of over the 21st century, and the fact that it's right here in Northeast Philadelphia is something to be proud of. So I want to thank you on this bright and beautiful day, and finally to all the men and women who put literally their lives on the line for us in service every day. Thank you.
And now I'd like to ask Commissioner Charles Ramsey to come forward and give us a few remarks.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you very much. It's a good day for all of us in the Philadelphia Police Department. Thank you, Mayor Nutter, Chief of Staff, and Deputy Mayor Everett Gillison, Director Resnick, everybody who has had anything at all to do with this. We thank you very much. All of you that have been up to our facility, current facility on State Road, know that it's an aging facility. It's small. It's really not capable of housing anything more than what it currently is housing, which is the recruit training. Our advanced training is on Spring Garden. It's, again, a lease facility. This is going to allow us to combine both and have them in one place. I just did a walkthrough of this facility, and I can only imagine what it's going to look like once it's completely gutted and rehab. It is a very, very nice facility that will fit our needs, not just today, but in the future. And that's very important for all of us. So, again, I want to thank the mayor. In particular, I want to thank Everett Gillison, who really is the driving force behind the various facilities. I mentioned to the mayor, he really shortchanged himself. He didn't mention the DIVIC, the Delaware Valley Intelligence Center, which was opened about a year and a half ago as another facility that has come online during this administration. So thank you for the commitment to all of us in public safety, and for all the agencies, private contractors, and city agencies that will make this a reality once the work starts. Thank all of you, and we are looking forward to next May. God bless.